Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the WION Sports Broadband Edition with me, Digvijay Singh Deo. Now, India's sports persons finally have something to look forward to with the Sports Authority of India announcing the SOPs for the resumption of training. I am joined from Hyderabad by World Championship medalist in badminton, Sai Praneeth, to talk about this and much more. Sai, good to see you, hail and hearty. How have you been, and are you now waiting for training to begin again?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. And yeah, definitely it's been very long. I think after the All England, immediately we came back on 14th of March. And yeah, it's almost been 2.5 months that we haven't played or done anything. Uh, we are in lockdown, so we are just doing whatever we can at the home, but it's not sufficient for the sport. So we are really looking forward to start our practice.
No, Sai, you're actually someone I could describe as someone who enjoys a jet setting lifestyle because as professional players, you all travel around the world. But in this period of pause, has it been one of reflection for you as well?
Yeah, but as you know, we have been traveling a lot from last 1.5 year. But yeah, I think this period is good. As far as I concern, I could spend some time with the family, my wife, and I don't know when again we get so much time to spend. So I think this period was good, but at the same time, we have been not playing from a very long time. But I think it's been 2.5 months. So I hope now the things are getting better. I hope we start our practice as soon as possible. And also, I think the most important part for us is the travel. I think once the BWF starts the schedule, I think it's really tough to travel in these conditions. I hope the vaccine comes soon. Otherwise, I think we have to be very careful, and the airports are the major thing where the virus gets spread so fast. So I think it's really tough if the vaccine doesn't come, and if the BWF starts the schedule, I think we have to be very, very careful.
Okay, I'm going to get to that in more detail, Sai. But
Mm.
the question I want to ask you is India as a country is slowly opening up, but the cases continue to rise. Is that a sort of a dilemma for you professional sports persons? Because you want to go back into training, but you also don't know if it is safe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is a big question, but I think we have to be very, very careful. I think nothing else we can do other than that. We have to be always conscious on what we are doing and always have to sanitize and be careful. Always wash your hands, legs, everything. I think, see, as I told you, till the vaccine comes, we can't do anything. So when the vaccine comes, we can at least we can relax a bit. But other than we have to be very careful, and we have to start slowly. We have to maintain the social distancing. I think the things won't be as earlier. So yeah, the life is going to be changed. I think. Uh, yeah, it's really tough once we start, but we have to figure out what we can do to practice.
Now, the next question is going to be a bit of a tongue twister, Sai, because Sai, which is the Sports Authority of India, has announced the standard operating procedures for resumption of training. Have you had a chance to go through them? Because especially when I look at badminton, they're saying that, preferably train outdoors and maybe only the single players play indoors. Have you gone through these guidelines and what do you make of them?
No, I haven't gone through the guidelines. What are they exactly? I mean, I haven't gone through. What are they? What are the guidelines exactly? I mean, I haven't gone through.
Okay, they're saying that especially in the case of badminton, that
Yeah.
it's preferable to play outdoors and only the singles players could be allowed to play indoors. And no air conditioning and all of that is also being talking about. So, what do you think of that now that you've heard about
Yeah,
it?
I think playing outdoor is definitely not an option. But yeah, if you see in international and Asia, most of the Asian countries, we will be having the air condition on, and there is some rule that we have to maintain our temperature inside the hall and something. But yeah, I think that is really which we have to look forward, because AC air conditions is entire stadium is the same for the audience and for the players, so the virus might spread. We also heard some cases the virus might spread through AC. Yeah, I think there will be a lot of changes, but we don't know how they BWF also uh, conduct these tournaments. We are also waiting for their statement and how things goes. So we are just waiting for all the clarity given by the BWF.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think the ones from Sai at the moment are mostly related to training. But have you had a word with your national coach Gopi Chand about when y'all can get back to training? Is it possible right now to go back into training in Hyderabad? Because every state has different rules.
Yeah, I think as the central already announced that we can practice, but our Telangana government has, they have announced the lockdown till 31st. So as long as in Hyderabad, the Telangana government, they have allowed almost everything except these malls, stadiums, gyms, and temples. So I think we are expecting that the things will. I think these things starts from June first week or second week, and even Gopi sir is also just told us that let the things be clear and we can start slowly. At least the people who are from Hyderabad, because people from other state, I think it's not so easy for them to also come back so fast, so quick. So I think so once the government, I mean maybe on 29th or 30th, I think the government will again announce the announce something. I think we are just waiting for that. Once they give some clearance and then they give they say okay to stadiums. I think definitely Gopi sir will start slowly taking all the measures.
Okay, I think that's been the prevalent
Yeah,
theme in Indian badminton in Gopi we trust. And
yeah,
the SOPs side, they put a lot of onus on the sports person, someone like you, that you have to be careful, you have to maintain social distancing, as you said. They're also saying that you've got to be careful when going to the gym, handling equipment. You should, in all cases, perhaps use your own equipment or you sanitize it. Now, is it possible in a sport like yours? Is it possible for all these guidelines to actually be implemented? Because you're out there to play sport as well, and for you to be extra careful, you know that when your focus completely is on sport, at times you tend to forget all the other things, so just slips out of your mind. So, how important will it now be for the likes of you, elite sports persons, to be careful of everything else as well?
yeah. I think it's definitely tough because we as a sport we have to have partners to play. We have to do in a group. We can't do it individually. Though it's an individual sport, but we can't do everything individually. We need a trainer, we need a physio, and we have a coach for singles. They have a separate coach, so each player can't get each coach and can't practice separately. So definitely, it is going to be tough for everyone. Initially, everybody will be conscious and everybody have to sanitize before going to a gym or after every exercise, maybe every rep, or yeah, we have to figure out how we do. But definitely it's going to be tough for us because without a group we can't practice, and without the support staff like coach, physio, everything have to be there. Everyone has to present there for us to improve or for us to do anything. So yeah, it is going to be tough, but everyone will be conscious and everyone will be careful, and we hope that we are safe, and yeah, that's it, nothing else we can do.
Now, you spoke about group. Now, I have been to your training sessions in Hyderabad a couple of times. I've seen how there is this, all of y'all feed off each other. There is this, I know that ultimately it's an individual sport, but there is great camaraderie within the Indian badminton camp. All of you help each other out, all of you train with each other, all of y'all push each other as well. Do you think all that is going to be affected now because everyone's saying stay away from everyone? That's what the SOPs are. You think ultimately that it's going to become more individualistic than a group when you all come back together?
Yeah, but see, you may think individually, you may be far from everybody, but when you are playing, you need a coach, you need a player to play with, you need a coach to do multi-shuttle or anything, or you have to get feeders to feed you. So I think it's really tough. We just have to be conscious enough and just follow the guidelines. You have to be conscious and follow everything, whatever needed. I mean, nothing else. We can't do anything else other than that because we as an individual sports, but we can't practice individually. We can't maintain distance from everyone because we need a trainer, we need a coach, we need a feeder. See, coach maybe, yeah, coach and trainer maybe they can give us exercises from somewhere else or anything, but we have to train, we have to have feeders, you have to have your opponent. I think that is not possible to maintain. So, I mean, it's possible to maintain social distance, but while playing, yeah, you obviously you have to play with each other. So I think that is the one thing which we can't avoid.
No, but just on that point, Sai, and one of the beauties of actually observing all of you train is the various methods you use. Now, you're fair in saying that obviously on the other side of the net somebody is feeding you. But one of the sessions which I have loved watching is you as the individual player facing three players or four players on the other
Yeah,
side. It's relentless.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
about pushing yourself. It's about
yeah.
pushing the limits of your body, your fitness to retrieve shuttles everywhere. All of that could affect training. If you don't have all these people on the other side, the
Then
sharpness.
definitely we can't train.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely we can't, because that is the basic badminton. I think the all over the world, the one versus two, one versus three is the basic thing which everybody will do. And so that without that, I think it's not really possible to. Maybe you can maintain your game, but maybe if you want to improve, and I think it's really not possible without all that training.
Do you see, Sai, honestly, do you see skill levels coming down right now when the tour resumes with all these things happening with social distancing and all these regulations? Do you see the skill levels at the moment, at least till the end of the year, going to be perhaps not at the level we've expected, like we saw at the World Championship last year?
Uh, no, not really. I think, see, now immediately once we start, definitely it will be down, but we have enough time to train and to get back. It's not that we, in between, if you are injured in between the circuit, then you have to hurry up to play the tournaments, or every tournament is linked up with the rankings, the World Championship or the Olympics or common, everything is linked up with the ranking, the Super Series entry. So you always have to maintain the ranking. So maybe if you're injured and when you start, you suddenly rush to play tournaments, or you do things faster. But now I think we definitely have a lot of time. We can actually start slowly. Maybe it will take 2, 3 to 4 weeks to actually get back maybe a bit of strength or endurance, and then also we have 1.5, 2 months to practice. I think definitely we can get back to the get back to the normal, but the only thing that we will be out of the match practice. Maybe yeah, if you play some 2, 3 tournaments, definitely it will be the same again. I think in that point we don't have any doubt because we have enough time to practice.
Okay, you touched upon fitness, so I'm just going to expand on that because badminton as a sport requires immense fitness. Uh, I have spoken to Gopi, I have spoken to Ashwini Ponapasa. There's been these, and Sindhu as well. So there's been these online sessions which have been going on, the basic sessions. But in
Yeah,
badminton, you need 120% fitness. You also need for your smashes explosive power as well. Now, when you're staying away from sport for so long, obviously the chances of injuries are higher
yeah.
if you rush back, as you mentioned. How long do you think it will take, Sai, for all of y'all who are at the top level in world badminton to return to peak physical fitness?
Yeah. See, for me, if I start now, first we have to slowly. The strength is the main thing, because if you start playing without without strength, I think definitely there will be a chance of injuries. So definitely the first thing if is to at least gradually increase your strength, and then endurance, and the game. I think definitely you are playing from a very long time, so the game, the touch way won't go so easily. If you play one session, I think that's enough to get back your strokes and everything. So the only thing is you have to do the strength, which is the main thing, because without doing strength, it high chances of getting you injured. So I think definitely the first 2 to 3 weeks, definitely we will be focusing on our strength and running, and slowly gradually increasing our strengthening, and then slowly we can start on code. So we, as long when the program is after 1, 2 weeks, you know your body how strong it is and how much you need to do more. I think definitely it's an individual thing. Some takes time, and some get back quickly. So once you start the resume, you can find out what's happening in your body and when to start exactly.
Okay, so in your case, Sai, you would obviously prefer building up your strength, and even though you will keep playing badminton, it won't be that high intensity. You think a month and a half is when you would
Yeah,
actually
for
start
me,
getting.
I am expecting to get for a top in a top level. I am expecting like 2 to 2.5 months
Okay.
for
Uh,
me.
okay. With the Olympics now pushed back by a year, with the international rankings currently frozen, uh, would you prefer not to play internationally this year if the season resumes, or you did say that match fitness is important, but is it extremely necessary if the rankings stay suspended and with the regulations and all in place? Does it make sense for someone like you who's all but sealed an Olympic spot to play internationally this year?
As far as now, we don't know what the BWF decided about the qualification, the first thing. And see, maybe they take the Olympic qualification separately and they do the general ranking separately. But there is a World Championship also next year. So there would be another selection trial for that also. I mean, they have to do qualification for Olympics and World Championship. So to play World Championship, you need to maintain your ranking. Definitely, it is also based on ranking. So once they announce all the rules and regulations, we can plan accordingly. Right now, I think we don't have any clarity to also to plan the tournaments or plan what to play.
So, well, a significant part of your badminton calendar, the big tournaments are in China. So, just as a player with family now and with all of that, will there be reservations in the minds of lots of players traveling there?
Yeah, definitely. Not only China, it's all over the world because if you travel, I mean, as I said, you the airports are the main thing where people come all around the world and connecting. They have so many connecting flights and everything. Airports are the major thing, but definitely we are worried. Everybody will be worried during the travel. We have to be so careful and yeah, we don't know how it goes actually. Let's hope for the best and we hope the vaccine gets soon so that at least there is some sort of relaxation in our mind to travel and go and play the tournaments.
Have you had conversations within your badminton group? I know all of you are pretty close, all of you train there, about going out and playing if there is no vaccine. The talk of a vaccine is premature. We don't have a vaccine right now.
Yeah,
There's no time. But
yeah, then
you are professional players. You also need to go out there, as you said, be match fitness, think of the future, think of the Olympic Games, think of the World Championships. But how much of a risk do you think it will be if there's no vaccine and your season resumes? And will that affect the choices you as a player make?
yeah, definitely. I think it's not going to be easy like before you go every tournament on. You have to select particular tournaments, and also, yeah, there is a lot of tension in your mind during the travel. Uh, Definitely, actually, we haven't thought about it uh, like we are not thinking about it much because we actually don't know what's going to happen right now. We are only thinking that till maybe September, October, we don't have any tournament. At least we can train hard and become fit, and then once maybe every day the things are changing. So I think maybe after 2 to 3 months maybe the things may change, and we just hope that everything gets normal and nothing else we are thinking right now because we haven't started our play. We have been out of badminton for 2.5 months. Not only us, the whole world, like the Europeans and maybe some of the Asian countries are practicing, but the all major part of the world is under lockdown. So yeah, we just have to wait and see how the things goes and just do the things accordingly. Definitely, it will affect. If the vaccine is not, definitely it will affect, and we have to be very conscious to the travel, and we have to also play the tournaments. We have to also be safe, and we have to think about so many things. Definitely, it will be. It is going to affect us, but yeah, we hope the things get changed. That's it. We just have to hope everything gets clear, and maybe after 1 month, 2 months, the things may change. We just have to wait and watch.
Okay, fair point, Sai. But for you personally, you have a huge advantage as it stands. Let me just put that out. As it stands, you have a huge advantage when it comes to the Olympic qualification race. What we are hearing is that the rankings is suspended, but when it is opened up, it will only be for this 8 or 9 week period which was
Yeah,
remaining.
yeah.
How
That is
do you
only for
see?
the Olympic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Olympic.
But
Yeah,
we also have so many other tournaments.
fair
Like
enough.
as I said, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, my question to you, Sai, is that you have this advantage as of now of this Olympic process,
Yeah,
but the Olympics has got postponed by a year. So, what
yeah.
are the changes you will make to your processes looking at the Olympics? With the Olympics now a year away, how do you refocus on what to do till the Olympics now?
Yes, if you see only, if you talk about only about Olympics, there are only 6 tournaments which got suspended, and yeah, definitely I will also make choices in that tournament. See, there is a tournament in India. India Open will be in India. Maybe I'll play that, and if the things get clear, I may skip 2 3 tournaments. I may play only 2 3 tournaments which are nearby, or maybe depends on the country. Yeah, if you see only Olympics, yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, if I get selected, then yeah, definitely I have so much time to train for that. But also I have to keep a watch on the other tournaments also. So if you see only Olympics, then yeah, this is my plan.
No, also just to follow up on that side. So till March, which is when your calendar sort of had to hit a pause because of the virus, you were preparing for the Olympics mentally,
Yeah, yeah,
and because it was 4 months away. Now that
yeah.
it's 14 months away as we speak, how do you refocus? Because you will sort of have it in your mind that as it stands, I am heading to the Olympics. So how do you
Yeah.
refocus for your Olympics now, 14 months from now? Is my question.
Yeah, I think definitely it's tough to focus so long. And see, for me, if you ask me how I am thinking, I'm just thinking that let the BWF release the calendar for the Olympic. Let the selection get finished first, and then we can think about the Olympics. There is a lot of time. I don't want to, if I get select, if they put that 6 tournaments in December, Jan, Feb, and they finish the selection, let them finish the selection. I'll just focus on that. Then let the Olympic qualification is done, and then I can think about how to train for the Olympics. So if there is a very long time for the Olympics, then I might not think about the Olympics. Maybe I might think about the next 2 months, get fitter for the. I mean, I still the aim is to play Olympics, but the preparations and all, maybe I have to get more fit, or I'll think that I can have more time to get fit, get strong, and then so slowly I can focus on the Olympics. So that's what I am thinking.
Okay, one step at a time. I think in these
Yeah,
uncertain times, that is perhaps the best way to go because, as you've been saying all through this interview, that there is so much which is not in your control. I mean, it's not in
yeah,
anyone's control. But the good news, Sai, is that hopefully, with these SOPs being announced, with the governments now starting to open up training, hopefully, you guys get back to training very soon. And as you said, it's also important there to take it step by step. Don't rush into playing high intensity sessions. The idea is to build up your strength, endurance, and then take it from there and then wait. But fantastic to talk to you and hear your perspective as well. As you've been saying, you've been indoors and without action for 2.5 months. I know all of you are itching to get back, but when you do, just remember to be safe.
yeah. Sure. Same to you, and you also be safe. And thank you for speaking. I mean, thank you for interviewing me.